Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous, the day-to-day grind. Well, I think we're going to do something that's a little different, and I'm kind of excited about it too. I've been out to Dab's Hope many times, and I've been out to Dab's Hope in a cutter before. But the way I have this one set up, I really like it, and I'll show you. Since it's planetary, we don't need any hard points, so we have no weapons. And I'm not much into weapons on my ship anyway. And you see we just have shield boosters and heat sinks. And in the core, we have, as you can tell, we have 42 megawatts as our maximum, and we have 33.5. So we have plenty of power, which I like. We put in a 5A. We got a 5A thrusters now. All these are modded. You see the bolts next to them. They're modded. And at some point I'm going to mod the life support, but how many times do I really need it? I haven't been killed since the second day I played over 10 months ago. Yeah, probably it's probably no big deal. Okay. Let's go to optional. What I do like about the cutter is we got so many spaces for modules. So yeah, we left an 8 cargo rack which has 256 cargo spaces, but I mean, how much do we really need when we're running around in an SRV on a planet? Not a whole lot. I went ahead and stuck a 6C or an 8B fuel scoop on here. It's like, why not? You know, if we get out somewhere and we feel a little bit uncomfortable because we're running out of fuel, yeah, we can fuel scoop. 6C fuel tank, extra fuel tank, so we double our fuel capacity, so I like that. 6A shield generator's pretty high. We haven't really been tested. In the Python, we have a 3A. And we hardly ever lose more than 1.5 rings, which we have 1.5 left, so I don't see that's a big deal. And on the planetary, on the SRVs, we have 4, and with synthesis, where we use materials to refuel, rearm, and repair the SRV. Yeah, I think we're good. We even have another 5A cargo rack. We have a 5H Guardian frame shift booster, and you see it adds 10.5 light years to our jump. I like that. We have shield sail banks, so we can use those. We have a 4A and a 5A, or these are 2 4s. I'd probably like to have 5s at some point. I'll exchange those out for 5As. That's just if your shields go way down, you can deploy these guys, these shield banks, and it'll help, or it will repair your shields. We have a detail surface scanner in case we want to scan a planet, and then our normal stuff. So I'm excited about it. We have almost a 41, at the way it sets right now, a 41 light year jump range, and we have 2 fuel tanks. So class 6 fuel tanks. So as you can tell, I spent some more money. I had it up to like 10.06, and now I'm back down to 10.012 because of I added the fuel scoop and the extra fuel tank on here. But I think I like this better. And you can see I put the writing on the side, RG Cutter Planetary, or that's what that stands for. So let's get out to Dab's Hope. Sys left. We have 9. I mean, did I? Yeah, I left. I was wondering, did I leave? and go back to the main menu, yeah, the Oculus Rift's tracking got off and I had to restart the Oculus. That was wrong. Fine. I just didn't remember doing that. We have no outstanding cargo. We do have a couple of claims, and hopefully we create some more claims while we're out at Dav's, because we can usually shoot some skimmers and stingers at Dav's Hope, so hoping for that. So I think we're about ready. Please look down to the bottom right of your video and press that subscribe button. It'll help me with YouTube eventually, and it doesn't cost you anything, and you get notified when I create more videos. Underneath the video, in the description at the bottom, you'll see ways to donate. Please consider donating, because it's very expensive to create 600 videos just since January, so it's all new content. We have other Dav's Hope videos out there, so you can watch those too, and we'll probably also go out to Jameson Crash Site, which we also have videos there. So we're collecting materials, raw materials, manufactured materials, and encoded materials. We need to, because we have now a fleet of 4 pythons and 4 cutters, and we used up the materials to mod the engineering mod on the modules. So we used them up, probably 70 to 80% of our material, so we need to go collect some anyway. And underneath the video to the left, you'll see my YouTube channel, GFM_RDG, where you will find those 600 plus videos. And I'm starting to like using the cutter more and more for planetary exploration, because I can carry so much and I can go such a distance with extra fuel tanks and scoops and all those things, and still have our planetary SRVs. So really cool. And today, you see it says April 30th at 2100 hours. Well, I went ahead and finished up the cargo runs, but my guess is they have already taken the snapshot. I think it was around noon, because the system got real slow around noon. That's my guess. So we probably had 9.9 billion at the time. So that's probably what we're going to see in beta 2. And also about the space legs and the planetary personal bases and landing on planets with atmospheres. We still think that's going to happen. Frontier has not announced it, but they did say that the largest upgrade or update ever to Elite Dangerous is coming. And we keep hearing from leaks and rumors and stuff like that that it is the space legs, the personal planetary bases, and landing on planets with atmosphere. So it all makes sense. So we're going to continue on that direction until Frontier tells us different. That sounds correct, and they are already on this tour of content this year with the fleet carrier, and probably within a week I'll be bringing you videos on beta 2 with the fleet carrier, just like we did in beta 1. So if you wish, you can go back and watch my series, My Personal Fleet Carrier, My First Look, and that was beta 1. We're going to create another series that says My Personal Fleet Carrier, beta 2, My Second Look. So go along with us. You're like, what the heck? You don't have anything better to do than watch my videos, I'm sure. So let's get going, because it's fun to go to Dav's Hope and to collect materials there and make the loop around Dav's Hope, and you'll see how that works. And then we go collect some raw materials, and we go skimmer and stinger hunting. So that's fun too. And I have shot plenty of stingers and skimmers at Dav's Hope.
Landing gear retracted.
Pad detached complete. Go for departure.
I have probably shot most of my skimmers and stingers at Dav's Hope. So there's a crater there that's beside Dav's Hope, and there are tons. There are probably just keep making the rounds in there. You know, there is so many to find and shoot in there, so we're going to go shoot some. And maybe build up our combat rating just a little bit. The only negative is we have 9 jumps to make. I'm going to put some distance between us and that station. So we can leave without speeding.
Frameshift drive charging.
That will probably give us enough, because when this charging maxes out, it'll probably want us to move upward, and I think we have plenty of room now.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Need our discovery scanner. There it is. Okay, we have it on there. Especially when we're making a trip, I like to use the discovery scanner. Yeah, we needed to accelerate. I always say never accelerate when you're pointing at the sun, but when you get away from the sun, point away, go ahead and accelerate. And with these big engines, bigger engines, it cools down much faster.
Frameshift drive charging.
I have 8 jumps. And no, I don't see it anywhere.
4,
it's on our left panel.
3,
So we'll bring
2,
it up the next time
1,
just to make sure we're on
engage.
track. And it does use a lot of fuel. That was 2 jumps worth of fuel on there, but we do have a fuel scoop. This is a pretty good fuel scoop too. And I like to do a fuel scoop on these runs when we're doing a video, so you can see it. We got to make sure there's no NPCs though, because if they attack us while we're fuel scooping, that's not a good thing, because they'll try to push us into the star with the escape vector. Oop, I'm getting a little warm here. I'll let it come down a little bit.
Fuel
The
scooping
65
complete.
is not bad. Okay. Let's go back after our target and let ourselves cool down just a little bit. But isn't that neat? We have a fuel tank, full fuel tank again. That's what the whole idea is. And as I was saying before on those shield banks, see, there's the shield banks right there if we needed them. And then we have a surface scanner, and then we have our discovery scanner.
Frameshift drive charging.
Just left. See, we have 7 jumps. But this is our planetary. We usually don't go a real long distance, but we could. We have a fuel scoop and we have 2 fuel tanks. So we're doing pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it takes quite a bit. You see that was on the first jump right there. So, but we can fuel scoop anytime we get ready. When it gets down to about a half a tank, I start thinking about fuel scooping and things, but we're not even close to down a half a tank. And we probably got 6 jumps and we're good. Like I said, we have a travel version that has an 8 class fuel scoop that's 200. It's like 280 million just for the fuel scoop. It costs more than the cutter itself did. And then like an 8 class fuel tank, and I think maybe 1 or 2 more fuel tanks on there too.
Frameshift drive charging.
sure the recording's okay. Says it's okay. We'll find out when we edit.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
But we'll be out at Dab's Hope for a little while. We need to add a whole lot more material. I spent months and months and months collecting material and coming out to Dab's Hope probably over 10 times. And I have quite a few videos on coming out to Dab's Hope. So you can check those out too. So it's a good thing to get out here, and I don't like to move until the heat starts going down. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
But I like taking the cutter out if there's few interdictions. Oh, we can do a few. I just don't want 6 or 7 interdictions in a single Super Cruise
4,
run. So
3, 2, 1, engage.
we will be running tritium cargo between Edmondson High and the fleet carrier probably the first day that beta starts, because I want to move 17,000 tons of tritium, or close to it, to the fleet carrier. That's our first trip that we're going to make, is over to
System
Beta
scan
Hydrae,
complete.
or next to Beta Hydrae, because you can't park a fleet carrier in a permit system, so we have to go to Myanmar, which is right next door to Beta Hydrae.
Frameshift drive charging.
Sys left. We have 4 to go. And we're getting closer to that halfway.
4, 3, 2,
We still have
1,
no troubles.
engage.
But if I see a decent star, I might, like this one looks real yellow, orangish, so I like those. And I watch the heat more than anything else. Yeah, it's cool to get up to 550 units per second and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm keeping it probably cooler than I really have to. I could probably keep it around 5 without any problems at all. We did have it as high as 8 previously, or up to 7 might be okay. When we get to 70 on the heat, that's not good. But we're not even close to 70 on the heat. So we're doing real good. And we have heat sinks if we needed to cool ourselves down. But we don't need heat sinks at 64. It's just a nice
Fuel scooping
warm
complete.
Saturday afternoon at the beach at 64. Or 64%. It's not degrees or Celsius or anything like that. Go find our destination.
Frameshift drive charging.
Sys left. Down to 3. See, we have plenty of heat sinks too. Just the cutter has just so many compartments.
4, 3, 2,
What's really nice about
1,
it.
engage.
Again, I really like it. I don't like it as much around asteroids. I'm just afraid I'm going to bump into them because this thing is so big. And I don't like it with interdictions. I do have a mining version. There were 2 suns. Did you see that other sun that was to the right? Ugh. And those red ones can be a little dangerous. I don't like it when there's multiple stars when you come in. Oh, you can turn the wrong direction and move right into one of those things, and that's not good. Still got to watch them on the sensor. I do watch my heat gauge, and I move a little at a time just to make sure when there's stuff like that. That and neutron stars, and
Frameshift drive charging.
on those you got to be careful too. You cannot touch the funnels unless you're toward the end of them, and you're going to use it to do hyperspace jumps, neutron jumps.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I'd watch a lot of videos on that. I don't have videos on neutron star jumps, and I don't really want to take that much risk, because you can really fry your ship doing that. Now, it does bring you back to 30 kilometers a second, so I mean, you're not really moving that fast when you're facing the star, so you can pretty well take your time and move away and then accelerate. It's when you accelerate before you get pointed away from the stars when you get in trouble.
Frameshift drive charging.
Sys left. It's the next jump. And then we'll be in the system with Dav's Hope.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Is there a chance of being interdicted? There's always a chance. I've been interdicted just doing jumps, to systems. And it's usually habited systems, and this is a inhabited system, so it is possible. Yeah, we're coming up on it pretty fast, so I needed to slow it down. Sys left. Yeah, well, maybe it's not an inhabited system. There's no stations. Yeah, but there, you see we have a bogey down there in front of us. So it is, I'm sure it is inhabited. We'll just watch our sensor and we'll move away if someone comes near. So we're not in a hurry. And we're not going that fast, so we can certainly... And I slowed down even a little bit more. As long as I don't come up too fast on a planet or a star where I can move away, and again, it doesn't matter where the sun's at because we got to get to Dav's Hope. Now what I need to do, our sys left, I need go to the system map, and it's up there. Come over here to the planetary thing. Am I gonna have to scan this thing? Probably. Let's see, points of interest. There it is. Lock it in. Okay, now we're good. Now we can go. We locked it in. It's usually sunny at Dav's Hope. Now Jameson Craft Site, oh, it's always dark. So and we have scanned it before. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's sunny or dark, you know, that's where we're going. So I like to have a slope so we can get a glide. Now, usually NPCs do not have planetary stuff.
Orbital
So if
flight
you get low
engaged.
enough, they usually won't try to interdict you, and if they do, it causes them problems. And this mountain, if Dav's on the other side, we might have to come down kind of beside of it and then circle around. Certainly don't want to run into that mountain. So, do have a glide. We'll take our glide beside the mountain. And you see the crater that's in front of us? That's where we go skimmer and stinger hunting, is in there. We'll do some of that too. Maybe not right now, but this will be a series of videos. And one of the videos, we're going stinger skimmer hunting. We like going skimmer and stinger hunting. See, I'm not a high risk combat guy, and that is not high risk. We're going to have to do some boosting. Kick this out early. And we watch our engine distribution. It's like a capacitor, it has to charge. So we watch for it to get maxed, and we hit it again and just keep hitting it until we get closer. It puts us about 335-ish on the speed. Starting to see Dav's Hope. It's one of my favorite places I like to come to. I really like coming to Dav's Hope. And we need materials now. I was trying to top off my materials to max. Now, there'll be ships that will circle Dav's Hope for some reason, and no one really knows why. So, yeah, I think I might have had my acceleration down. That could have been causing us a little bit of problems. Assist landing. And this will slow us down. It doesn't matter where we park, if we park in the front or the back right, either way. Yeah, it's kind of darkish. And I'll probably spend most of the planetary stuff in the cutter. I'll probably use the Python a whole lot less. Kind of needed to slow down a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit closer. We're still 100 meters out. And you're starting to see those ships starting to show up. They've never shot at me or anything, so I don't think they're dangerous. There was a spot there. See if we can find this spot. Doesn't like it for some reason. Right there. We had to move over to the right just slightly. Okay. Assist down. Again, thank you for watching. please press that subscribe button in the lower right hand corner of your video. And those that haven't seen my SRVs lately, they're the same color as the Python and the Cutter. And I know I'm weird in that way, but I sure like it. We're not going to send the Cutter away. There she is. But it's a nice ship. It really is. It's really nice. I like it. I like my Pythons too, but I sure like the Cutter too. It's a big one. Okay. Now we don't need that over here. And yes, we will get other ships start to show up in a little while. They're NPCs, but like I said, I've never had them fire at me. I'm not saying they never would, but I haven't had them fire at me in the past. So we're scanning it for encoded materials.
Incoming message. Cargo scoop deployed.
And see, engines are low because you'll slide around if they're not. So we might start off this way. You just get the feel of it. And there's races.
Handbrake is
Oops,
on.
and I hit the wrong button. Instead of hitting the target, I hit the brake. Yeah, people time themselves going around this. But these are manufactured materials. And then you can trade for really what you need at the material traders. And about once a week you can scan for some more encoded stuff. Well, let's see here. But it's been probably a good month or two since I've been here, so. And it kind of tells you the story of what happened. And I'll show you in a minute. It had to be evacuated. And there's controversy on really what happened. Sis up. Now this one's not the first one. Site shut down with immediate effect. All resources and confidential materials to be moved to the Alpha site regarding ongoing situation. Mining Team 6 missing. Consider acceptable loss, no further action. Commit site shutdown immediately. Now I have not had any problems here, so I doubt you'll have any trouble. I've been here so many times. Now, we picked up all the materials, so you don't come all the way out here just to make one round. If you do, okay, whatever. But the majority of people that come here, we go to the main menu, come back, and you can gather all the materials again. And we just do that over and over until we just get sick of it. Okay, so now we're back and we can do the whole thing over again. And just keep collecting materials until it starts saying that
incoming message.
certain materials are run out. a lot of times.
Cargo scoop deployed.
And we'll leave the cutter here until we get ready to go hunting skimmers, stingers, and raw materials. And then we'll send the cutter away and it'll go into orbit until we call it back. But this can be a grind also. Or can be, it is a grind. But it's still part of supporting the fleet carriers because we're going to need materials in the future, and we're not sure yet how much material, if the fleet carrier is going to require materials or not. We don't think so, but you never know. But there'll be times that I want to change out a module and I want to mod it. We're going to do the rounds to the engineers at some point, either in beta or June at worst case. And to save time, I'm probably not going to show you when I go back to the main menu every time. It's just when we get back here. So you can just assume that we did.
Incoming message.
That's the only way you can keep collecting.
Cargo scoop deployed.
And I usually don't try to race around. I think I've gotten like a 70-second or something like that. I mean, there's some that are a whole lot faster. And you can take the seconds on the clock up there in the top right, and you can where you start and where you finish. But this is a really cool place. It's much better to collect materials like this, your manufactured materials, than in other ways, I think. It's a lot faster. Because you get like 3 units of each, every item is like 3 units. Now, watch your wheels on those racks because you can get stuck. And what you pretty much have to do, like we come in with horizons because you have to have horizons to get here. Go to the main menu, or exit. You exit the game and come back in under just Elite Dangerous, not Horizons, and then you'll be in orbit. So if all else fails, do that. Then you're back in orbit, and because you can't be on the planet with just Elite Dangerous and not Horizons. So then you can do it all over again. And we do the same thing at Jameson Crash Site with encoded materials. We just do it over and over and over again. Just do it until you get sick of it.
Incoming message.
And then do some more. Because you need that material.
Cargo scoop deployed.
You will use it. See, we're starting to get the ship show up. See them circling? I don't know why they do that. No one really knows why they do that. Frontier, as far as I know, hasn't explained why they had them do that. They're not dangerous to you. As far as I know, I've never been shot at by them. I've been out here made the circle hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. I have seen them, I guess, hit each other before, and then one of them would crash into the planet. I have seen that. I got a video, put DAV and then crash, and you'll probably see it. I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw it come down and hit the planet, bounce up, wobble a little bit, and then leave. And another time before I started videotaping, one did that, slammed into the planet, then got up, like he might be okay, and then blew up. Big fireball. Boom. Like, oh my gracious. Had a fuel leak or something. I don't know. So sometimes when you do the relog, they're here, and other times they're not. I'll probably try to keep these videos around an hour, not a whole lot more than that each. Like we'll do one where we're doing this for about an hour, and then we'll go. Then we will go do some skimmer and stinger hunting. Let's find that other one. There it is. I don't think we're close enough. There we go. Just had to point at it better. So we get, I believe, encoded material for that too. No, we get those claims. We get sys left. We get these claims, like that data point claim for the Empire and Alliance, and one will probably show up for the Federation too at some point. But yep, that's what we get. I think there's another scannable. Yep, right here.
Handbrake is on.
And about, you can scan those about once a week or something like that. I think there's another one over here. Yep. But you could do this for a week probably, just straight, before you really start filling up your materials. But when we do, if we fill them up, then we just go to the material trader and move them to a higher grade, and then come back and do it again. I'll probably do that when I buy a fleet carrier. That's probably what we're going to do. We'll do a lot of different things, but am I not close enough? Oh, we did. We've already scanned it. See if you forget if you've scanned it or not. You can try. Yeah, it says inactive, and after you scan it, it says scanned. Scanning and then scanned.
Incoming message.
Yeah, scanned.
Cargo scoop deployed.
But you need this materials. For the engineers. And if you go as crazy as me, where I have 4 pythons and 4 cutters and have them all engineered, you're going to need the materials. Then you change your mind, you make changes, and then you need more materials, and the engineers are going to eat up your materials. They take a just enormous amount of materials. So this is a grind too. It's, you know, acceptable to put it in the day-to-day grind because it's an absolute grind. But since the snapshot is probably over by now, or if it's not, that's
Incoming
fine.
message.
We would carry all of this over to beta then.
Cargo scoop deployed.
But we're over 10 billion in credits, so we have all our assets. So I think we're really in a good spot right now. Now, after we buy the fleet carrier, I want to grind some more too, because I want to get it back to at least 10 billion for future content. I like to always have 10 billion, because we're going to spend a minimum of about 8 or 9 billion when we get the fleet carrier, so we're going to have to start grinding again for credits. Now, I have about everything I want, so it's not like it's life or death or anything to have to collect the materials, but for one, I want you to see what is going to be a requirement for you. Because as I've said, you really need to do this. If you want to get kind of to the point where I've gotten to, you really have to do this. As boring as it can be boring as heck, but you have to do it. You need this material. And when you go meet with the engineer, you'll find out how much you need this material, because they're gonna take an enormous amount of it just to mod your ship. So it's best, before you go meet with the engineers, come to Dad's Hope and Jameson Crash Site and just spend a week, you know, just collecting, maybe longer. That high density composites, you run out of space for that before you run out of space for about anything else, because you get more of those than about anything else. Yeah, I clicked on the ship instead of on this. Here's another composite. Should have showed you. If you click on it and look over here, shielded emitters, we have 89 out of 250. So it'll kind of show you, get a rough idea of where you're at. But 89 is pretty good. But I've been trying to keep some in each spot. Like this is 39 of 250. Yeah, we'll probably do a combination on the next video where we do raw materials, and if we see a skimmer stinger, then we'll go ahead and go after it.
Cargo scoop
And
deployed.
then we'll do one of just going after skimmers and stingers. Or primarily we'll pick up materials if we come across them, of course, but that crater that I showed you as we came in is probably the best place to go to look for stingers and skimmers. Now it takes like 10 skimmers and stingers to get, when you're in have a competent combat rank, it takes like 10 of them just to get 1%. Just takes enormous. It takes like 1,000 of them to get through the competent. Yeah, we're not going to do a whole lot more. I was just trying to get it close to an hour. And in June, we're certainly going to do, this is going to be one of our stops with our fleet carrier.
Incoming message.
Going to be a lot of stops, but this is going to be one of the major stops.
Cargo scoop
Where
deployed.
Jameson Crash Site's going to be a major stop. You see some interesting things out here. Just put in DAV, D-A-V, in my YouTube channel, and you'll see all kinds of videos. Like there's armed mining camps and stuff. There's all kinds of stuff. Automated mining equipment. I have found all kinds of stuff out here, and sometimes you come across ships. There's been some ships I couldn't identify too. And my video didn't work, but I did capture one of those Guardian skimmers, which is one of the old legacy skimmers. They're very rare, but then I was able to capture a video on some after that. So we've still got plenty of fuel. We can refuel. We don't even have to take the cutter anywhere either, because we can refuel here, like Sis-Right, and I'll show you that. Sis-Right. Sis-Right. Come on. Sometimes it's just so hard of hearing. So fuel tank, I just passed it. Basic fuel is what we got in it. We can refuel 47 times just off of sulfur and phosphorus that we have. We can 34 times where it's 100% efficiency. But this premium stuff, oh, that's wild. 34 times. It lasts like 4 times as long as what the normal fuel lasts. It just, it seems to last forever. So we scan there. Well, I think that might be it for this one. We'll create the next video. We'll go running around the planet. We'll send the cutter off into orbit, and we'll see what we can find, and shoot some skimmers and stingers. And we probably won't go to the crater yet, but after the next video we'll probably run over to that big crater and hunt over there. So I appreciate you coming along, I really do. Be sure to look to the bottom right of the video and press that subscribe button. And it really helped me out with YouTube. You get notified when I create additional videos, and it doesn't cost you anything. Underneath the video, in the description toward the bottom, you'll see ways to donate. And if you watch my other videos, I describe from time to time how expensive it really is to put all of this together. And if you can help us out, I'd really appreciate it. And underneath the video to the left, you see my YouTube channel, GFM_RDG, where you'll find those over 600 videos just since January. So it's about 4 months worth. So if you'll be so kind and watch more of our videos, we'll really appreciate it. So until next time, thank you for watching.